Welcome back to Trading Rolly. Welcome back to some Bitcoin technicals. Enough already with the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Janet Yellen cracking down on crypto. Next day, but I like crypto. I just don't like the money laundering. And then what? The double spend attack on BTC that never happened. People are selling in panic because of something that didn't happen. Ignore the news. We always say, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. We've been watching a symmetrical triangle here. Symmetrical triangles are equal opportunity to the upside and downside. Yes, in general, a symmetrical triangle would be a continuation pattern. So it was fair to assume that possibly this continued. However, we've been on a massive run, over 100% gain after breaking the all-time high. So it was kind of expected to have a pullback. So if you want to come up with excuses in the news why we've pulled back, that's fine. But guys, we've been talking about this. There are pullbacks in every market, and there's pullbacks in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is no different. You can't just go straight up forever, right? The harder you go up, the faster you fall sometimes. So we have plenty to talk about. On the 4-hour, you're actually finding support. Yes, wick down below 30K, but bounced right back, finding support right along this horizontal, possibly flipping this previous support as resistance, possibly still putting in lower highs, possibly need more consolidation. However, the bounce looks good so far. The altcoins bounce look good so far. This intro is over. Let's get into the meat of it. If you like these videos, hit that like, leave me a comment for the algos, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications, and remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research and trade at your own risk. Let's get back to the charts in 1 second. Just want to look at the overall market. Bitcoin up 3%, 24 hours. Ethereum similar. Polkadot, nice bounce back above $17. 7.5% gain. You saw Litecoin bounce. Chainlink, that's what I wanted to say. 11% on Chainlink. And there is grayscale rumors. So, the news stories, okay, when you're in a bull market, I would pay more attention to some of the bullish news stories. They can move the market. FUD in a bull market, it might have a quick sell-off, but usually bought back up. FUD in a bear market can really tank the price. But you can see we're bouncing right back. And anyways, Chainlink, Decentraland, aka Mana. Also, you see, I'm talking about Grayscale here. Grayscale rumors of adding Grayscale Trust for Chainlink, Mana, Tezos, Brave, BAT, BAT, and there's a fifth one I'd never heard of, so who cares? All right, let's go to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. I can't keep up with all of them. Dropped down to a 40. So fearful for the first time in a while. Look at this here. Wow, look at that drop there. So this is a great opportunity to buy in a bull market. You want to buy this fear. So if you're able to catch some of that dip, awesome. You've seen big bounces. I mean, in the last 24 hours, like 20% on some like Chainlink and Tezos. Mana was up 30%. BAT was up 30% on the bounce. Grayscale rumors in a bull market for altcoins can really send price. But in general, look at that. We'll see this update later today. Probably get a good bounce. So that's a buying opportunity. Fearful in a bull market. Altcoin season, you can see we have broken out of the Bitcoin season, almost a bit neutral here. Let me get rid of this Brave advertisement. Still collecting my free BAT. You should too. I take BAT tips, if anyone even tips in BAT. Not necessary, just throwing that out there. So we're watching this break into the neutral zone. This is going to be your ultimate altcoin season. This is probably where you would want to move your altcoin profits either to BTC, Ethereum, or USD, when you get in this range here. But, when we're still right here, there's so much more room for some of these altcoins to run. Like I say, I have a majority of my holdings in Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then next would be Polkadot, next fourth would be Cardano for me, Chainlink is fifth, Litecoin is sixth. Okay, but then I have just a roulette table, low allocations across at least 30 altcoins until I see one of those 30. And these aren't just obscure altcoins you never heard of. These are, ranging in the top 50, top 50, top 75. I'm waiting till one of those 10Xs at least, okay? At least. Moving on. Let's look at the charts. Hit that like for me, guys. All right. So this is the 4-hour immediate time frame. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Let's go out to the weekly, get the larger perspective. This is what you have to do. Start on a larger time frame and then move downwards, okay? So hitting that 90 threshold on the weekly RSI in the 2017 run-up has had those pullbacks and then usually bounces in the 50 range. So we could come all the way down here. If this pullback isn't done, we could come lower. You can see that these previous pullbacks here lasted, at least, 3 weeks to the downside. This was more like 5 weeks, another 3 weeks to the downside, another 2 or 3 weeks to break the previous all-time highs. It takes at least a month and a half for all of this to play out. So we could continue to come down and then maybe get a bounce here if we haven't already seen that bounce. MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor did buy the dip, but no one's surprised by that. The weekly Stoke is crossed down. So your weekly Stoke crossed down, you're still in the middle of the pullback. We did dip a little bit lower. So we have gotten now, what is it, about a 30% pullback. Okay? The previous 2017 run, you saw like 33%, 35% during these pullbacks here. I did want to check out this fractal we had kind of mentioned before where you dumped down. It was like a 25% drop June 2017 and then a lower high. But right now, we've broken that fractal though because we've already put in a lower low. Okay, you can see that here. Fractals just give us an idea of, previous price action, give us idea of what to look for possibly in the future. But you can see we put in a lower high there. So looking at the daily, we'll look at the moving averages on the daily because on the weekly, we're still above all moving averages on the weekly. If we, put in another weekly candle to the downside, maybe you bounce off that pink 10 simple at 26,564. But this weekly candle has only like 2 days in it. This pink 10 simple will go higher, maybe up to like 27,000. Okay. And your yellow 21 EMA at 22,000 will also creep up higher. Those will be your supports. But I don't think we'll hit those over the weekend. Possible, always possible. Price action on the weekend can get a little crazy. Institutions are done for the weekend. It's mostly retail. The books are more illiquid. Price can move a little faster in either direction or just sideways, boring. But I think these will creep up and you can either eventually tag one of them and bounce. And I do think you would bounce. Or it can continue to stay in this sideways consolidation and allow the moving averages to meet them higher. So if you look at the daily, the yellow 21 EMA was holding BTC daily up as well as that pink 10 simple. Super strong trending move above the 10 simple, strong trending move above the yellow 21 EMA. And then your blue 50 simple is kind of more like still trending, still moving up. Higher highs, higher lows. Your 200 EMA is kind of like bull market below bear market territory, okay? You could still come down to the 200 EMA, stay above it, and still be in a bull market. The stock market, I can't say the number off the top, but their definition of a bear market is like a 25% drop, 30% drop for them as a bear market. But that's because, a 5% move can be a large move for them. So Bitcoin's volatility is way more intense. You can have 50% pullbacks and bounce back and still be moving in an uptrend. You just have to, it's a different game. You have to stomach the volatility in crypto. So maybe you have less money on the line if you can't stomach a 30% drop. I mean, if you have $100,000 on Bitcoin and it drops to 70,000, that's like a big loss, right? But we all know that's normal, and it's actually maybe a good time to buy at that 30% discount. So you kind of have to adjust to that. And like I say, if you have your entire life savings on Bitcoin and it drops something 30-40%, you might have a heart attack. So don't go all in on crypto. Crypto moves so volatile and so much that you don't have to go as heavy. It's kind of like you're already trading on leverage just simply by being in crypto. Altcoins, you don't need to trade on leverage. They're already moving 10-20% in a day. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get eaten alive if you're using 10x leverage, and 10x is low for a lot of margin traders, and the price moves 10% to the downside. Say you long 10x, you're already liquidated within 10%. So you don't really need leverage in crypto. So that's why just get used to stomaching that. So now we did basically bounce off of the blue 50 simple here, around 28,150. We didn't even get down to 28,000, but you got the bounce. We talked about if you lose the yellow 21 EMA, what would be the next target? The daily 50 simple. Boom. Now you're retesting previous support, possibly flipped as resistance. 34,142 yellow 21 EMA. And you can see here, 21 EMA was holding that price support, but you were struggling with the pink 10 simple. Previous support, then flipped as resistance, and then you lost that. Now, could this flip as resistance and continue lower? It is still possible. Your daily stoke is still coming down. So you're going to need to see this daily stoke cross up. You're going to need Bitcoin to close back above that yellow 21 EMA on a daily candle minimum. All right. I do want to point out this trading range. We were talking about a potential support box here and here. A previous trading range flipped as support. Some reason this is acting a little wonky. There we go. Okay. So if we continue any lower, these would be the next bounce zones. Okay. But on the 4 hour, you can see after losing that symmetrical triangle, you did have a large sell-off. You bounced here from basically where that moving average on the daily was. Closed the daily 4 hour candle body back above this same horizontal where you saw wicks below, but candle bodies closing back above. So good to see. And then we have another horizontal. We talked about this at the very top of the video, possibly flipping as resistance. So something else I would like to see on the 4 hour would be candle closes back above this level here, which is at 33,700. Close back above there. You could see resistance along this as well, though. Support flipped as resistance. So get back above that rising support channel. Otherwise, you could get rejected here. You could get rejected there. All right. Another possible confirmation that the bounce is in would be breaking above this downward trend line on the RSI. Okay. Your 4 hour stoke is rising, so this is good. You're just going to have to break above that downward trend. Pretty clear. Okay. And then the stoke could rise back into the bullish zone. So that's what we're watching on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can just consolidate, the altcoins could continue going higher. This could just be one large consolidation. Are we looking at, I'm just drawing this. No, I was trying to see if that would line up there. We could be like in a falling channel, possibly even. Change that to yellow, maybe. I'm just trying to show you some different possibilities. What if this was more like a falling channel? I don't like the yellow though. Let's go pink. That's better. All right, a little more contrast. So maybe this is like a falling channel, and falling channels do typically break to the upside. So you could be chopping this way and then allow the altcoins to rally. Or maybe we just bounce hard. If Bitcoin bounces hard back above this, retest 40K, and marches higher, Bitcoin will steal the show again. So speaking about that, let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. You can see that there is that. I don't like moving averages too much on Bitcoin dominance, but you can see it respecting it. And you're getting a daily bounce here on this 200 EMA. Your daily Stoch is low and ready to possibly cross up. Your RSI is also low. But, this can take time. We saw, along this way, if you were watching this channel, the daily Stoch was high. So we knew that a mini altcoin season was coming, but when it actually took a week or two longer than I anticipated. So, this Bitcoin dominance bounce may take a week longer, but eventually it will rise higher here. And if it rises higher here, two scenarios. One, Bitcoin's dumping and the altcoins are dumping harder, or Bitcoin decides it's Bitcoin's turn to run the show, Bitcoin's turn to pump, and then you'll see this dominance rising as maybe altcoin profits move back to Bitcoin while Bitcoin goes up. And maybe we go up to 50K, 60K, Bitcoin consolidates, and then you see the dominance drop, and then the altcoins take their turn. All right. But for now, the altcoins are looking pretty good. If I'm looking, I don't think you can see it on your screen. It's just to the right here. But, Bitcoin in the last 24 hours is 9%, Ethereum up 14%, Cardano 16%, BAT 35%, Tezos 24%, so Uni 17%. All the altcoins are bouncing harder than Bitcoin currently. And this is good because I was worried if Bitcoin dropped out of its symmetrical triangle that it could be a scary place for some of the altcoins to dump. For example, OMG. This is a random example, and then I'm going to get into maybe some of the majors. I'm doing all right on time. It might be more of a 30-minute video this time. I turned the timer off. All right. So OMG, this was the DeFi bubble pop, okay? August. The DeFi bubble pop was here. And since then, a lot of coins, OMG, ZRX, slightly better than OMG. See, this is the ZRX bubble, DeFi bubble over the summer, okay? And these aren't necessarily the DeFi coins. It's just, you can see this with a lot of the coins that popped during that time span. And then, see, UMA is finally rising, okay? So they've been going sideways. What I was worried about was if OMG hasn't even gotten to its August level and Bitcoin dropped hard and coins like this were sideways, I was worried these could take another leg lower back down to retest that level there. Wouldn't look so good. However, it seems that the altcoins have held their territory, bounced off of support, so held this sideways consolidation. For example, YFI bouncing off of resistance flipped as support, holding that key level, still in an uptrend of low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So still keeping that bullish momentum. I was worried on YFI. If Bitcoin drops down to 22,000, YFI will come back down here, back to 20K, losing that uptrend possibly. But we're not seeing that. So we're still in an uptrend, still bullish. We have some proving to do. You can see, for example, YFI daily Stoch crossed down but it's 4-hour nice cross up here. We'll just have to see how this weekend plays out. But weekends can be pretty good for the retail. Do keep that in mind. Retail bulls like altcoins. All right. So that's what I was looking at, just kind of comparing them. So let's just do a quick kind of like a lightning round. Look at maybe like a, just look at the daily charts, you know, just move through them, see what we can see. So we were looking at possible bearish divergence on Ethereum, but if it can close back above that pink 10 simple, that would be nice to see on Ethereum. Basically, holding that yellow 21 EMA is good. You are crossed down on the daily, but like Bitcoin, crossed up on the 4-hour there. And back above all moving averages, also finding support above his 200 EMA, still putting in higher lows on Ethereum. So no reason to really panic here. You are consolidating just below the all-time high still. Bitcoin did the same thing, consolidated just below 20K and finally had a massive run-up. So we did break the all-time high, but you didn't get a daily close above 1400. So that would be, if you can, wow, if this in one single candle broke back above, that would be so bullish. A bullish engulfing, so this whole candle larger than this one and above 1400. You only have 3.5 hours left, so it's doubtful. But if at least the next maybe Saturday's candle can close above there, you could get a nice pop. Litecoin finding support on that 50 simple, but you're below your yellow 21 EMA, much like Bitcoin. Litecoin's pretty much moving with Bitcoin. And we're at this previous peak, trying to find support above it, above 140, and my target above would be 220. Cardano is also, finding a consolidation just below this previous peak here. You can see that on the weekly. You can see it on the daily if you zoom out. So that peak there, and we've been struggling with that level as well. Yeah, I was looking at this trend line there, possibly flipping support, possible flip as resistance. So kind of lining up with Bitcoin. If they all turn over right here, this could mean that we have more consolidation, more downside to go. So this will be critical. This is actually going to be a support flipped as resistance. You see how that works? Support, possible resistance, possibly turn back down. Let's look at the 1 hour. Your 1 hour Stoke is high. Would it be a surprise to kind of pull back a little? Maybe come back down here. Let's look at that. You have support rising on the 1 hour. Maybe you consolidate under it. So that's definitely what we're watching. Are we putting in a lower high? Or are we just going to bounce back strong? A V-shaped recovery, right? Let's keep it moving. XRP on the dailies. Cardano, 38 cents is the level to beat. A break above that level is going to be a massive run, I think. You could go to 64 cents, then $1. I think $1 is fair. Your weekly Stoke is still pointed up on Cardano, by the way. Daily down. XRP daily down, and struggling with this level, below 30 cents. So the bulls need to reclaim 30 cents, and they could go back to 50 cents. It's going to be a struggle with the SEC news. We'll see in February. So still have some time. If they announce everything's good, you're going to see a pump in XRP. So that's all I have to say about Ripple today. Stellar bouncing off this resistance flip support. So this was another key thing you needed to see with the altcoins. If they drop below, you're at risk at kind of losing this momentum, but still putting in higher highs and higher lows. Stellar to the upside, maybe 45 cents and then 68 cents. Still putting in that, and you're still above your moving averages on still above all your moving averages. The pink 10 simple will come up to there. Yellow 21 EMA will move up. So bullish. Look at the weekly. Above all moving averages, start with the bullish bias. Move down to the daily. What are we looking at the daily? The daily bouncing off that 50 simple area below the pink 10 simple. Need a daily close above 29 cents to go higher. Link getting a nice bounce. Let's go to Link real quick. Link flipping this resistance level. You can see it better on the daily. So we had that wick, candle bodies closing just below, and now flipping it as support, and possibly a daily engulfing on Link, pretty bullish. And Link has bounced stronger than some of the others with this grayscale news, and this was a measured move from the bottom of this, cup and handle pattern. Was taking us around $27 to $28. Okay, still waiting on that, but nice. Previous resistance, flip support, exactly where you needed it to happen as well. Okay, band also resistance, support. Need to hold that 750. 750 was such a critical level to break above. It needs to hold support, and so far you are. Okay, possibly now this is the range. All right. Now you need to break above 1050. Let's keep it moving. Tezos, also look at this bullish engulfing. Grayscale rumors looking good. You have resistance around $3.23. All right. Previous resistance, support. See how the horizontals. With Bitcoin, I try to go more in depth with you so you can learn or just compare. Some people are learning. Some people just want to get an idea of what other traders, other investors are thinking. So you can see what I'm looking at with the moving averages, support, flipped as resistance, the stochastics, hinting for those cross ups or cross downs. RSI, you can chart those with, you can chart head and shoulders on RSI, but downtrends that need to break, possible bearish divergence, bullish divergence, sometimes I'll even use Bollinger Bands, much like your moving averages, but sometimes the Bollinger Bands can give you a target to the upside. You can see kind of hitting resistance on that upper band. It's staying mostly above that middle band there. But when you're going fast through a lot of these, guys, horizontals, maybe some diagonals, those really have been doing me the most justice. And I've been repeating this for months now. And you can see each level play out. I don't know the time frame that it's going to play out, but you can see that, where do you want to buy when you break above a resistance? Where would the support, possibly be where you had previous resistance? So you could, if you wanted to add back in to a DCA, you would see that as a good opportunity, all right? And BAT, closing back above daily candles above all of these, that's just another step in the right direction. You want to see daily candle bodies close above previous daily candle bodies to continue that momentum higher. So just simply looking at this with no technicals, no drawings, you can see that you're in a uptrend and that you have a resistance level here, and you topped out right there. Okay, so that's going to be a level to beat. And then if you can, that will be the next level, just using previous price action. I know it sounds super simple, but honestly, the more simple you keep it, the easier it is. That's why investing, on a weekly, daily time frame, a lot less stress and people do a lot better than being chopped up on lower time frames. People can scalp and make money, but it takes a whole different discipline, whole different strategy. So I would suggest, just taking it easier. And when you do that, you're not freaking out by a 5% or 10% sell off, okay? You see that as an opportunity to buy. DOT holding above all its moving averages still. This is good. Still above the pink 10 simple. This is very bullish. You're still bullish on all of these. If you're below the moving averages, that's bearish. This took a little more faith buying below, but once you are above them, you can feel good on looking at a daily above all moving averages. That's a place you want to be as a bull. Okay, so still good, consolidating just below what, $18 on Polkadot. You got some candle bodies. So if Polkadot can close above $18 on a daily, looks like a sideways bull flag. I'm still bullish. Kasuma above yellow 21 EMA, trying to close back above his pink 10 simple. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Moving in the right direction. YFI needs to stay above 30,000 though. Previous resistance needs to stay as support, okay? Uni above yellow 21 EMA daily, nice bounce. This was going to be a resistance level, flipping as support. Also good to see. UMA kind of rounding bottom, moving up. I like that. Atom, big drop, but still above the yellow 21 EMA on the daily. So that's where you can, throw in your moving averages, because I would have possibly liked to see this target. You can see that price did interact with that. You had that previous price range, wicked above, candle body, closed just a tad above. You had a rally. So I would have liked to see it hold as support there at 782. But you did flip this level, this resistance as support. You still have an uptrend, and you're still above the daily 21 EMA and possibly close back above the pink 10 simple as well. And I think that's going to be it for me. We could just go through. I'm just going to make comments about a few of these real quick. Let's see. Look at the daily. EOS still chopping sideways. Nothing special. EOS is going to need some help. This numeraire thing, it sounded like a cool idea. It was like a hedge fund for crypto. I don't know. Not doing much. Maker, though. Maker put in new highs here and staying above the yellow 21 EMA, finding little resistance on that pink 10 simple. Okay, you want to see Maker continue that 4-hour stoke higher. You're having a little resistance level here around 1421. OMG, we talked about. You're going to want to see this actually get a daily close above 426. ZRX, above the 21 EMA, needs to close back above this pink 10 simple. Still haven't hit that August high. So I feel like if we're in a bull cycle, we should at least take out this August high and go higher. All right. So I'm not satisfied with, profits in some of the lower cap altcoins when you haven't even hit that August high. See, this was where? Yeah. Kyber still below its August high. All right. But above all moving averages, I need to see KNC Kyber get back to this level here. At least, Zcash bouncing off its 50 simple, mostly sideways. Lots of issues with privacy coins. Gemini still supports Zcash pretty strongly, but the privacy coins pretty iffy right now. OXT, sideways chopping. Could you get a pump candle like that? But you see when it has these large pumps, it sells off. This would be possibly a pump and dump. Auger, Not much going on here. Comp at least is putting in an uptrend. Your August, September highs are way up here, so maybe approach 270. Cello, you know, they had a good idea with cell phones. I like, oh, that sounds good, but I don't know if it's realistic. Maybe, but this looks like a pump and dump kind of too. Filecoin is still chopping sideways, still below all moving averages. So this is bearish. You know, it needs to get back above this previous, or it needs to get back above the blue 50 simple, back above $25, back above $31. Gemini was shilling this. Aave still in an uptrend above the yellow 21 EMA. Oh wow, it's already 35 minutes. I like that GRT is above all its moving averages as well. All right, that's enough for me. I got to get out of here. Too much time. Thanks for watching again. Rolly roll. I'm out.